This is a very important document. You don't leave your Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be sharing with you the things you will need to take with you when you return home to get your H1B visa stamped in your passbook. Now, this video is specific to people who have been here in the United States and might have transferred their status from J visa, or their initial H1B was expired and was renewed, and you only have your approval notice, which is a paper, cannot be used to re-enter the United States. But once you leave, you will need to get that visa stamped in your passbook. This video will tell you what you need to take when you go to get that visa stamp. Stay tuned to the end of this video so that you can get all the details that you will need for that interview. Guys, if you did not watch my previous video on possible J1 visa interview questions, you can pause this video right now, go back to that video, check it out, and come on right back. So my friends, you're here in the United States. You might have been on the J1 visa. You transferred your status to H1B. You can stay here in the United States on your transfer document. That's your approval notice that's sent from USCIS. Or you might have had a H1B visa stamped in your book. It expired. Your work or your employer applied for you to get an extension, and you get that approval notice piece of paper again saying that it is approved. You can stay in the United States for as long as that approval notice is valid. You do not need to leave the United States once you have your approval notice from the USCIS. However, you might be considering to travel outside of the United States. Once you leave the United States, you cannot re-enter with an approval notice. If you look on your approval notice, it will tell you it's not a visa and it cannot be used to re-enter the United States. So what should you do? If you're in the United States, you're going to travel outside of the United States, you only have approval notice, you should start gathering your stuff to go to the embassy in your home country before you can come back to the United States. But what are the evidence that you should gather? A lot of people think that because they already have an approval notice from the USCIS, they can just schedule an appointment, go to the embassy, and take that approval notice, and they will get that visa stamp. It's not so. Please note that once you are going to a U.S. embassy to get any type of visa stamp, it is an official interview where they will be asking you a series of questions in most cases before you are approved to get that stamp in your book. I'm going to repeat that. Though you have approval notice from USCIS on that white paper, that I-97 form, you will still need to show up to the consulate office in your home country if you leave the United States and want to re-enter the country. You will need to have all the documents you would have on a normal visit to the embassy. So let's break this down, and I'm going to break it down using an example. So I had a J1 visa. I transferred my J1 visa to H1B. I got my approval notice from USCIS, a white form. It's approved, and it's not going to expire until 3 years in the future. However, I needed to travel back home. Because I wanted to go back home, I know I had to re-enter the United States to come and take back my job here in the United States. So I had to gather my stuff to take to the embassy back in Jamaica. What are the stuff, or what are the things that I gathered? First and foremost, and I'm going to say this first, Because a lot of people think because you already transferred from a J visa and you already got approval for H1B that you don't need your waiver again, your J1 waiver again, your J1 waiver approval. Guys, this is a very important document. You don't leave your J1 waiver out of no interview, out of no applications to the USCIS. If you do, they will ask for it. And if you don't have it, you are going to be stringing along until you can prove or provide this evidence to them. So, before you leave the United States, you can go ahead and apply to the embassy, schedule an appointment so that when you go back home, you know you have that appointment to whatever day. First on my list, you can do your list however you want to do it, but this is my list. First on my list is my J1 waiver approval notice. You need it. Also, you need your passport and it should not be expired. Also, you're going to need a job letter from your employer to show that you are employed with them. You're also going to show some other type of evidence like a pay stub or a pay slip to show that you are employed with your employer. You want to also walk with your approval notice that you got in the United States. You need to walk with that to show that while you were here in the United States, a lawyer applied for you to get a H1B visa or get H1B status. You need to show that approval notice. Don't leave it. Also, to be on the safe side, walk with your DS 2019 from your J1 visa to show that this is how you enter the United States initially on a J1 visa. Again, walk with your bank statement, walk with things to show your ties to your country. It's just like a regular interview. You want to make sure you are prepared. Always be over prepared and not under prepared whenever you go for a consulate interview at any U.S. embassy. You also need to walk with your passport size pictures because you know that's going to be used to stamp your visa in your book. And also they might ask you about your family members. Will they be coming to the United States with you, or do they also have H1B status, and where are they? If your family members are in the United States on H4s, they did not leave the country, then you can let them know they are on their H4s and they did not leave the country, but whenever they leave, they will come to the embassy to get their stamp in their book. Always remember that officers are humans like us. Be confident. Look them directly in the eye. Make sure you prepare your questions as I mentioned in my previous video, and study possible responses for each question. Don't be scared. Yes, I know we all have this phobia of going to the US Embassy for interviews, but rest assured they're human beings. They're just asking questions that you should respond to, and if you respond to those properly, you should be okay to get your stamp in your book again. Guys, if you have not liked this video as yet, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, turn your notification bells on, and share this video with somebody who might need this information. Now, as I mentioned earlier, once you leave the United States and want to re-enter in your H1B visa status, you must have an H1B visa stamped in your book. I know a lot of people might be watching this video and you had all different types of experiences, and I may have left off documents that you need to take with you when you go to get that stamp in your book. If you have done this before and you are aware of other documents that the officer might ask for, go ahead and put it in the comment section below so that others can learn from your experience. If I remember more, I will put them in the comment section also. Remember, this is a learning community and we're learning together. So share your experience below so that we can all benefit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.